the day. So we have to keep you awake. So we just decided to do it in Spanish. So when we are sure you are awake. No, we agreed to have this talk in English, and we will do it in English. Falls Sie irgendwelche Fragen anschließend haben, wo Sie möchten, die lieber auf Deutsch machen, heute Abend bei den Essen oder jetzt nach dem Vortrag, können Sie auch anschließend noch auf Deutsch fragen. Der Akzent ist die gleiche, egal in welcher Sprache, so da haben Sie keine Vorteile. Wir haben es geschafft, fließend zu stottern in 3 Sprachen. So I switch back to English, and as you can see from our names, but we'll go into details, this is something which is having a lot of success in many conferences. Communities of practice is something that many people say, everything has been said already about communities of practice, nothing new about it. I'm saying yes, it's new to come. But we will first introduce ourselves, hand over to my colleague.
Yeah, thank you, Almudena. It is very nice to see 2 companies together, presenting something together. I mean, Almudena will present her company, 21, and I will present a little bit about Reve Digital. But this is the first time we coming from 2 different companies, are presented together. We have presented in so many conferences in the past, where we were talking because we were Ericsson employees, and now none of us is Ericsson employees. So this is the premiere.
It's the first time we are divorced, but still presented together.
Exactly. Divorced doesn't need to be too well. And then it's the first time also that we are going to present this one in English.
Yes, you can find it. You can find it in YouTube in Spanish if you are curious.
Exactly. Good. Then this hidden force behind your company's idea. So let's see. Very quick about myself. I have been busy in the telecommunication company for 27, 26 years. I do not remember anymore. But right now I'm busy with Reve Digital, and I will tell something about the company. I have several certifications, doesn't matter. Don't pay attention to this certification. Important is the experience. And this is what we will talk. We will talk about something very practical, not about books, not about theories, not about philosophy, but about something that we experience, very practical. So then, I present my company now. For 7 months I've been working for this company. The only defect of this company, the only one, is that they speak German. Otherwise, it's perfect company.
Norma is being recorded.
Oh, sorry. And being on time. True, and being on time. Punctuality is important. So we are Reve Digital. I don't know if you recognize this Reve company, but this company is very new, and it's under the umbrella of something called Reve Group. This company is 4 years old, and it's expanding amazing and in a very strong speed, and this is something that we will talk about this expansion, this growing. It belongs to Reve Group, as I already told you, and I have seen when we were in the way to the conference several villas. Yeah? Who you buy in villa? Yeah, for sure, everybody. But there is another companies that I also know that here in Austria you have, like Viva, Merkur, Penny. Wow, cool. I mean, it's well known, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about retail and touristic group, a company very big and with a high presence in Europe, and especially you are the 2nd biggest market in Europe. The first one is Germany. Good. This is all about me, my company, and then I will talk about her company.
Myself. Well, I was also a few years in Ericsson, 22 years to be honest. So we were working for a long time together. And 1 year ago, I left the company and I joined Improvement 21. We are an Agile consultancy company, so I am business agility consultant. That means you can hire me, you cannot hire her.
Sorry.
About it. I have also, we are invited in a couple of conferences together or separated, but we are well-known as speakers because I think it's very important to see what's happening in the outside world regarding agility. And we have also some certifications in Improvement 21. Our customers, right now, that's some customers we're working with right now, worldwide. We work in Europe and Latin America. Right now, the biggest bank in Colombia, Bancolombia, is running an Agile transformation. It's being done by my colleague, Angel Medinilla. He's most of the time in Colombia. And I'm running European projects. Right now, I'm in Desigual in Barcelona every week, changing the way of working in Agile transformation. I know you are laughing. I completed dressed up in Desigual, yes. But I was dressed up in Desigual before Desigual existed. I was always dressed up.
Was the first customer.
So the first, actually, when they called to ask me if I could be their consultant, I was taking a telephone saying, "Where's the camera? This has to be look." So actually, I was always a customer, so I was delighted to be called, by the way, and I'm delighted to be working for them, for sure. And our services, we do courses, we do agility transformations, consultancies, and we are Agile licensed trainers for Management 3.0 for Junior Appello, so my chef is coming tomorrow. And we're also silver partners from SAFE, and we run SAFE courses. I know you're looking very sad, it's the competition from Les, and Les is tomorrow here. But we can be friends. I think it's enough place for everybody, and both systems are really very good. So I'm also a friend of Les, by the way, but not a certified teacher. And that's about us. Now, going back to the subject, communities of practice. Anybody knows what happens in Germany? I mean, we live in Rhineland, no? In Düsseldorf, this corner where Germans, the very populated corner of Germany is where we are at home. And anybody knows what happens the 11th of November at 11:11 in this area in Rhineland? The Germans' communities of practice start moving. Because if we look close to the definition of community of practice, why shouldn't this be community of practice? It's about people who meet optionally, and they share a passion, and they meet regularly to improve. And believe me, Germans concerning Carnival, they are very consequent. From the 11/11 until Carnival in February, they meet every weekend, and with passion, and work thoroughly to get their Carnival skills improved. So, this is a community of practice, loud definition. So we're moving to the question, what is a community of practice? And by talking in some conference and talking to some customers, we realized it was not easy. We realized there were as many definitions of community of practices as companies we were meeting. So we decided to start from the beginning. The first official, or the first community of practice definition you find in the literature is mostly the ones with Mr. and Mrs. Beckman at the beginning of the 90s, which is good. It's actually very good. They live optionally, share a concern, passion, and they try to improve it regularly. So we have a strong aspect of learning in this definition. And we are in the opinion, and we have the experience, that this has evolved, that is not the final state of a community of practice in the 21st century. What happened with Scrum? When we introduced Scrum, Kanban, and we created cross-functional teams in the companies, we took all the silos, all the departments. We had the design department, we had a testing department, we had the system department, verification department, and we created cross-functional teams, so we brought our customer closer to the teams. That was fantastic. I've been 8 years in the Scrum team. She was, by the way, my Scrum Master. And I think that was a fantastic step to be done. But what happens to these groups? If we create a bunch of Scrum teams, we separate the people with the same skills. They have to still get together. We call this, in Ericsson, we gave the name virtual teams. It is one possibility how to call it. You can call it whatever you want. What's important for us is these virtual teams are not an option. These virtual teams do have to meet regularly because they have strategic decisions to be taken. There are test strategy aspects which all testers together have to share, and that you cannot leave it up to an optional, passionate meeting of the community of practice. So our first step for Norma and for me was to separate these definitions, to give some clarity. When the people with the same role have to meet, and when we might create communities of practices with another goals. So this way, and please, this is our opinion, and this is our private definition, but it's something we introduced in the talk because we saw there was a big need of it. There are virtual teams, which you will see in Reve, they have also another name, so you can call them whatever you want, and they are communities of practice. Virtual teams are not an option. Virtual teams do have to meet to find some regulations aspect, architectural aspect, strategy aspect, which are shared by people with the same role. Whether we introduce Git, for example, or not, cannot be taken, it's not a decision that some people can take. The complete group of developers or people affected have to take this decision together. Or whatever test strategy you decide for continuous integration is not an option. The decision has to be taken, but with everybody involved. So now we move on to some examples of what's happening in Reve, the company from Norma.
The difference to our experience in Ericsson, where when we introduce Agile, we have these big silos, testers, systems, architects, la 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 la. So, and then we break these silos, as Almudena explained. In Reve, these silos didn't exist at all, because Reve is so new, and they didn't have one idea what is waterfall or what is silos, because they weren't Agile. So then, our problem was a little bit different. And it's that they start with more or less 10 to 20 people, 2, 3 teams, and then they start growing, until the time when they say, hey guys, we are now from 20, we are now 130. What shall we do? We cannot meet and do a common stand-up, a common sprint planning, and so on and so on. So they meet together and they insert some concept called tribes. So this, it's a click to you, it's something like Spotify, but it's a little bit different. It's not the same. That's why I put that, this slide. Then in this tribe, they were busy with different functional areas. For example, the tribe of e-com, the tribe of fulfillment, big data, platform, and so on. And then they put the teams, the cross-functional team belonging to this function there, inside, and then they start to define the roles above this tribe. Tribe master, product owner for the complete tribe, and so on, backlogs and so on. So then, the tribes start to grow and grow and grow until we have one tribe that was counting with 20 teams. That was also very difficult to handle. 20 teams in one tribe, it was difficult. So they meet again together and they make another decision. For this time, they were more or less from 300 to 600, and then they decide to insert something called squads. Squads are dealing with the architectural models inside of the functions. So, and then they say inside of this tribe econ, we will have one squad that is going to call side landing or platform or etc. So they have this squad. Still, they were cross-functional teams inside and just clustered in this way. Then, and the same happened, the same problem that Almudena explained happened. Now, we have the teams, and now we need to make decisions that affect to all the squad or to all the tribe. What shall we do? They meet, they talk, and then they define and they say, okay, let's have guilds. And guilds is what Almudena already explained, a virtual team. Okay? Are we lost, or still, are we still on the page? Okay. And then these guilds are, for example, we have a guild that taking decision for architectural issues, for front end, for quality, for mention security, and so on. These guilds, they meet regularly, they take a decision, they make guidelines, and so on. Everybody should be there. So this was growing, and then start to emerge some kind of guilds dealing with Scrum, dealing with Agile, dealing with moderation, dealing with other kind of things that even though they really bring some value to the company, they didn't, the decision did not affect directly to the teams. So, and they start to call them also guild. So then, last year, this is the Birka team, this is the guild. But last year, the teams start discussing, oh, are we a team? Are we a virtual team? Are we a guild? What are we? Are we a community of practices? So then again, the Scrum Master, two of our colleagues, they make a workshop with the teams, and they start to asking, guys, are you a guild or are you a community of practice? And then the definition starts being formed. And then we decide, okay, a guild is this with these characteristics, and Almudena already mentioned some of these characteristics. And then this is a cup. And then I would like now to talk about the cup. If you see the guild, we still have it there in red. And then the one in blue is a cup. That means people from everywhere who has an interest can join. Doesn't need to be all tester or architect or scrum master. Furthermore, if we have different roles, coming totally different roles, then the community of practice will be even more valuable. And then they start to meet. I will show two examples. One of the community of practice is this one. It's called moderators, community of practices. The majority of the people belonging to this community of practice is Scrum Masters. But we have their people, managers, we have testers, anybody is welcome. This is very important. And why this community of practice bird? This emerged from below. It was bottom up. Why? Because the Scrum Master start feeling there is a necessity. There is a necessity for moderation. And we would like to serve the company. But we can use this vehicle, this necessity to sell Agile to the companies who are not, to the part of the companies that are still not Agile. So they see it like a vehicle to evangelize Agile. Good. Then, another one is we have a couple of technical cops, very practical cops. They meet also with passion, they find solutions sometimes, they sell the solution to the product owners. Sometimes they have influence in the company, they bring, for example, this Yankees cop, very practical. These guys, freaky developers. But we have also freaky testers that are passionate with the testing, and they also make all these kind of technical talks and share information and all this. So this is example of COPS in Revit. So, and then I will tell you a little bit about how this is the governance model for these COPS.
Yeah, Ericsson went one step ahead, Ericsson Germany. Creating operative committees of practice. That means it's not only about learning, it's also about moving things within the company, about taking responsibility. So how can we change things? And in Ericsson Germany, they created this model where you have the communities of practice supported with different leadership modules. So you had the management as support, you had some entities here, and the communities of practice in the middle. And they were running different aspects. I'm going to introduce you to 3 or 4 of them. What's important to say is that the communities of practice, one of the things people ask is, like, how are they born? But do you send the mail? And we'll talk about details, how do you recruit the people for the community of practice. But I'm going to show you some examples of communities of practice which come from top to down, which are decision for management. There's a strategic decision to have community of practice there. That's fair enough. Or you have them coming from bottom up, where a bunch of people of the company decide, hey, we need some movement here, we need some power, let's do something. Both are fine. Both are okay. I must say, this way is more difficult to get buy-in. So if you get an email from management saying, we want to have a community practice for this, voluntary join. We're also busy. You have some colleagues who come and say, hey, let's do that, let's do something here. We got a bit more movement there, but both things work. I must say, there's not a perfect way to create one, and I'm going to give you some examples of those. We had a DevOps community of practice. This was, for example, a strategic decision of the company. So we had so much DevOps going on. within complete Ericsson anyway, worldwide, like 150,000 employees. And there's a lot of DevOps movement all over the place. Everybody talks about DevOps in all conferences worldwide, and nobody really knows exactly what we all meant. So we decided to take a closer look at it with some people strategically involved, and we were at some DevOps conferences presenting the DevOps strategy we had in Ericsson, but also listening to other conferences, what was happening. And very important, coordinating everything with what's happening in DevOps areas within Ericsson. That was also very important. So because we have so many initiatives. That was, for example, one which worked, which had clear code, which was imperative, and was organized on a strategy decision. Then we had the garage. The garage was also run by a community of practice. It was about innovation. But it was not the people who were innovating, still not the people who is innovating. The people who promote innovation, who ensures there's the enablers there, that ensure there's the room there, they have the technique you require, which organize the hackathons, which motivates people to join. So the one are more the enablers, the ones who take care that innovation can be fostered, there is a place for it. And that was also run by a community of practice, also very motivated. Security is an issue. I mean, when we bought our first handies in the 90s, and we had all 2G, at that point of time, SS7 protocols, security was never an issue. I mean, we never ever thought in the 90s somebody will hack our codes. Now it's the biggest worry of any operator worldwide, security. Any new node, any new update on any network, security is an issue. And there is also community of practice, strategically taking care of these issues. We had a community of practice for T-shape, and I found this really excellent. I'm trying to introduce it to my customers. Because we talk about cross-functionality in teams. We talk about people doing different things within the team. Is everybody familiar with the T-shaped concept? Okay, I'm going to shortly do a 2 minutes introduction. T-shape is about having different skills. We'll have the one we are really good at. I used to be good at development. I was a developer. So that was my main skill. I could do C++, Python, Perl, whatever you want me to program. But then you have the team. And through the Scrum structure, through the cross-functionality within the team, I won some testing experience. I never became a senior tester for sure, but I could do some testing. And I was also involved in the Agile transformation of the company. So at some point, this arm got longer than the other leg, but my T changed. It's not the usual way. Mostly, you seek within a Scrum that the teams get the cross-functionality and you have no bottlenecks. The only goal about the T-shaped concept is to make sure if this one guy in the Scrum team, which is the specialist of that area, gets killed tomorrow by a lorry driver, the team is not dead. I know it's a bit tragic, no? But it's, okay, he can just be sick for a couple of weeks. Still, if you lose one member of the team, that the whole team doesn't wait for 2 weeks, so, no, sorry, nothing we can do, it's not there. So, and this has to be avoided with a T-shaped approach. That was really promoted in the company. So we had a lot of T-shaped coffees, we had a lot of promotion, we had T-shaped corners where people could join and say, what could I do? Because, you know, I'm so specialized in this area. Yeah, why don't you try to do it here or a bit there? Oh yeah, you're right, maybe I could take a look into that or look into this. So the company promoted this and created a community of practice which took care of this. Was living for about 6 months, was really promoting that within the company, and when the promotion of the T-shape, the project was closed, the community died. It's also, okay, there was a clear goal for this community, and when the goal was fulfilled, then the community was home. So it's also another way of promoting and using communities.
Yeah, that's my topic.
That's our
I love it. And I tell you why. Does everybody know what patito means? Ente.
A duck, a small duck.
Yeah. We have a very successful community of practice. I mean, to tell you who was the more successful of all the communities.
Because we were the drivers.
Yeah. No, but to tell you the truth, I mean, this is a post-agile transformation inspiring team organization. Have you ever heard about team? reinventing organizations.
It's one step ahead. Like, I think in 5-6 years we will not be in an Agile conference, we'll be in a TIL conference.
Exactly.
It's the next generation of organizations.
The future of Agile. This is the name of this practice.
The very future of
The
Agile.
very future of Agile. So that we were a group of people who is really passionate on Agile, and then we start to look in a little bit more what is big, what is in front of Agile, what is going to come, and we start to dig in, and then besides promoting Agile in the company, doing retrospecting, helping, doing coaching, going, traveling, giving training. Before doing all this, we were also looking a little bit a step forward, and then we noticed this one, and then we decided to put to our community Patito, and then we find what does that mean. First we find the name, and then we find this. What does that mean? So what Patito was doing, it was a community of really passionate people, and emerged from below, from the bottom up, and then we start to meeting, and we start to discussing. So we start as a group of trainers, that we were responsible to train the company on Agile and all this stuff, and then more people start to join the team. But people who say, no, I don't want to be a trainer, but I would like to be part of this community because I'm interested in moderation, or in conflict handling, or in this or in that. So we start forming a big group, and then we start to creating a portfolio of services to Ericsson. So we were giving the training, we were doing coaching the people in Ericsson, the Scrum Masters and so on. We also represent Ericsson in the community outside Ericsson, no? And the Scrum Teach. And we travel like today, not representing Ericsson and so on. Study a lot together. We make group of studies to go further in our knowledge. Supporting the university, this is one part that we really see as a key factor, keep our motivation very high. I mean, we were supported by management to go and preach what we were doing in Ericsson outside in the university, call up and doing workshop and so on, and this keep our motivation really high.
Actually,
yes.
it was really fun because we sent a mail, who wants to do the PMI IELTS certified practitioner? And 10 people sent a mail, me! So we organized learning groups, we met twice a week, and at the end we did examinations. So I don't think I would have ever done it if we wouldn't have had the group support of the. So that was a really good step.
Exactly. We do a lot of things together, and then, but one of the things that we do together, and it was the last step that we did before we left Ericsson, is this internal entrepreneurship. I mean, in this case, Almudena have an idea, bring the idea to the team, to the community, and the community start burning for this idea. If we are giving coaching, training internally to Ericsson, we were traveling to Ireland, to everywhere, doing this job, why don't we sell this service? Why don't make a portfolio of services and sell it? And then she talked with the manager, with the top manager there in Aachen, in Germany, and he said, yes, why not? Yeah, find a customer, and you will fail, find a customer, and then find a second customer, and then if you don't fail, then let's see how can we make it more formal, and if you find a third customer, then this will fly, then Patito will fly, and then we will have the complete support from management to start this entrepreneurship inside of the company. And guess what? Guess. It works. It works. I mean, when Almudena say, oh, you know, we already find a third customer. Whoa! Then things start to be very, very nice. Yeah? Almudena, you want to add something?
No, not that sounds like.
Cool. Then, so if we see this how this Patito was working, it was a model behind the behavior. In that moment, we didn't know that there is a model for the communities, for maturity. Now we know it. And then we can say this model, we can say, yeah, we were feeling every stage of this model.
It looks
Yeah.
very, very familiar
Yeah.
to Tuckman. I mean, actually, the first time I saw it, I said it's more or less Tuckman with some renaming. But the community is a team. So whatever applies for a team applies for a community too. So I guess it's not rocket science, put it this way. It's a good model, but it's nothing really new, Tuckman.
Yeah, good. And now, what we would like to share with you is what we have experienced. What are the key factors? What has made our community of practices really a success? How can we start bringing money to the company as a community? Because the community is not just there because you're handsome, you're nice, nette Leute. No, it's there also to bring something back to the company. And then if you bring something back to the company, you will obtain more from the company. And Almudena will start with the first one, and then we will switch.
I mean, what is the vision? The vision what we have with agility in the 21st century is that we want to move from this situation, from these big companies which have no capacity to react, to even have small companies, we have no capacity to react, so we cannot pivot. We want to go from here to here. That is the goal we have in the 21st century when we're talking about agility. We see all these speedboats as Scrum teams, cross-functional, full-empowered, multidisciplinary, with T-shape. And we see some of these boats also as community use practices. It's not just only the Scrum teams or the Kanban teams or whatever we want to call the Agile teams. It's also the communities. The small boats, we can adapt to the situation, but they all have a common vision, a common direction. By having communities and Agile teams, you might have people sitting in two boats. Okay, that maybe doesn't work with this picture that well. But I always give this picture to my customers because this is actually what we're trying to do through the whole conference today and tomorrow. To have our companies moving to a more flexible, reactable way, still keeping everybody in the same vision, the same direction. And I personally see, or we see, that the communities of practice are some more boats into the landscape. Now, the very first hint or recommendation we give, everybody can join. Everybody's really everybody. Don't look for a certain group, don't identify some, all Scrum Master make a community. No, that's a virtual team. That's something different. But they meet voluntary, don't care. I had a long talk with a lady, she was the executive assistant of the CEO of the company, and she came to me and said, well, I cannot support in the community of practice. You know, my profile is completely different. I have no Scrum, I'm do administrative work. I said, yes, we need you. We need you because we have your view, and you have a completely different view. You have another perspective to what's happening in the company than any of us does. And I was able to convince her to join the community, and it was really very good because she had completely different insights, she had completely different views, and whatever she said, I listened to her and said, you are right. We never saw it that way. So make sure everybody's welcome. Now, when you say, how do I get everybody on the boat, Almudena? One of the big questions always, how do you get people involved in communities of practice? You could think this is the organizational chart of your company, of any company actually. You could think that is the way most of the companies look. But it's not. It's wrong. Most of the companies look like this. This is probably your company. Oh. And use. That's me. Use. Hey, everybody smiles. Everybody feels identified. I hope with the right ones. I hope with the right ones. I hope we didn't get anybody in trouble. And this is really, use these ways, maybe not the ones selling drugs, please, but maybe take the ones who have the kids in the same school. Like when you meet outside the school, say, hi, how are you, how's it going? Oh, by the way, do you know we have a new community of practice? You could really join. Or really, do you think so? with a nice atmosphere, it's always easier than sending a mail to everybody. We have a new community practice, if you're interested. I mean, you can also do it. You send a mail, the people who join, those are the first followers, those are the ones who really want. And we did it. And we had 3 or 4 people really convinced, no, yeah, Patito, this agility has to be moved on, great. But we're not enough, and we're not representative. You have to have some people from all over the place and from all the departments. So we discover the canteen is a very good place to ask people, or maybe the ones who have secret deal, I don't know, but maybe the one running the office lottery, even if it's unfair, at least when he walks around with the lottery, you can say, hey, by the way, we have a community practice. So try to find these connections. This lady I really admire, Esther Derby, maybe you know her, the one who wrote about retrospectives. And she was holding a talk about how to get the networking in the company. And she said, observe the smokers. And I did that because the smokers got together close to my window when I was working in Ericsson. From that day on, I was looking out of the window at the smokers, and I realized excellent networking. People from any department, from the CEO, if he was a smoker, down to any level of the hierarchy, got together informally twice a day and for 10 minutes discuss informally information. And then they went back to their places. And then next day again, another group, similar group, not the same ones, but again, just change informal information and you go again. And I mean, please don't start smoking and don't introduce it in the company. But observing the model of the smokers, the way they meet informally, is the way to approach, maybe with a cigarette, and say, hey guys, we're meeting for the community of practice tomorrow. Anybody who would like to join? Oh, I don't know. Ah, come on, try it once. So try to get people from very different perspectives, from different levels in the hierarchy and from different departments. That was the number, and I didn't have any picture of the coffee corner, so the pictures are from my colleague, Angel Medinilla, who is an excellent painter. As these people here, at this moment I must say an applause because they have been really working. They have been doing a terrific job. So, and I'm really, when I look at them, I could cry. I would never be able to do this. My colleagues with these beautiful pictures, he didn't have anyone with the coffee, so I put the one with the water. But I hope you can get the impression. So the number 2.
Yeah,
it's yours.
Number 2. I mean, number 2. Yeah. Managers are not always waste. They can be helpful in a community practice. I tell you our experience. When we started community of practice, the manager, the one on the top, was curious and started asking, these people is meeting. Then we started making a lot of noise also. And then we were putting this patito flying in several corners, and then he started asking, hey, this community of practice, what is about it? And I will explain him, and then he started to join the meetings. Not every meeting, because he's a busy guy, but he, oh, are you going to have the meeting today? Which topic can I join? Can I bring something to you? I have been in a conference and I have learned this one. Can I bring the takeaways? Can you organize something for me so that I can bring the takeaways to the whole community of practices? So he was really active. And you know what is happening there? That in a community of practice, there is no manager. In a community of practice, nobody is manager. Everybody is a fellowship. Everybody is there, and there is no this competition, no, there is nothing like this. So please welcome the managers. You will be astonished of the reaction, the good reaction, and how they can contribute to the community of practice. Okay, don't forget, managers can be helpful in a community of practice.
Make sure there are drivers. When you have a community of practice, doesn't necessarily have to be a manager. I personally even recommend that's not a manager because then you have some overlapping roles. So if a manager invites you to join a community of practice, it's a bit different than if a colleague, a peer invites you to join it. So there has to be drivers, maybe better than 1, 2, or even 3. There has to be a motor in the community of practice. It's the people responsible to keep the motor running. You might have 2 meetings where not many people joined, said, oh, the community is dying. Come, let's do some recruitment in the coffee corners. You have to have people who keep them alive. It's not the people doing the work. So it's not the people who really take the actions, but are the people who keep the backlog alive, who keep the meetings alive, who make sure, hey, we have tomorrow meeting. I know I have, oh, come on, you were not there the last time. You will join tomorrow, won't you? You need drivers to keep the communities alive. So it has to be very passionate, very motivated people. And you have to make sure at least one or two people are going to be the motor to keep it running. So that's an important aspect.
Good. Then, this is something very interesting. I always say and describe a community of practice like it's not an organization. For me, it's an organism. Or like the person who gave the first conference in the morning say, it's kind of a system of communication. I mean, for me, it's more like an organism. You imagine the eye fighting with the finger because he is unable to see, or the hand fighting with the foot because she feels, oh my God, I'm higher than you. No, this will not happen. In an organism, the things will happen naturally. There is no competition. There is no comparison. Everybody is unique. Everybody brings what they have. You all didn't come last time. Oh, but I was so busy. You should call next time because then you will not have the same amount of recognition. No, totally wrong. Everybody bring the best of the time, the best that this person can bring, and should be respected and should be valuable for the team. If it is 1 hour, if the person cannot participate in one activity because he was busy with the other, so please respect this one. Everybody is different. So we do not have in Patito, we didn't have two small fingers on the, this is the left arm. No. So everybody was really unique and really treated uniquely. This is important. So the ego should die. Oh, painful, isn't it? Because we are, our nature is egoistic. We are egoistic. So in a community, this should start dying. And we, all the members of the community of practice, should start to killing this ego. Difficult. Then,
yeah, we had extremely motivated people in some of the communities. We had people with a bunch of ideas. We could do this, and we could do that, and we could trade that, and we could also make a pilot, and we could make another pilot. And everybody got really excited. And the meeting ended. 2 weeks later, we met again. We could do this, and we could do that, and we could also try this, and we could make this pilot, and then we could also go, yes, oh great, we're gonna make it. And the meeting was over. 2 weeks later, we meet again. We could do a pilot, and we could also go this, and we can make our salary setting. I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna try that. And at some point, we realized, okay, guys, could we start focusing? So we created a backlog, and we prioritized it. Of course, it was a bit of cold water or some of the brilliant ideas we had, because we had so many brilliant ideas that you were choking in ideas and not moving anywhere. So at some point, you have to focus. We let the people dream for a few minutes, like for 10, 15 minutes, and then we said, okay guys, and now back to reality. What is the next thing we're going to work on? And we found for each issue drivers, but we tried only to have 2 or 3 things open at the same time. So we had a pilot going on together with human resources to try to do some salary setting in team. At team level, we had the pilot of the entrepreneurship, creating this consultancy service for customers. So we tried to concentrate, and we highly recommend, even if the most motivated people run into the community, say, you know what, guys? Be nice, nurture them, give them a lot of love, but make sure, yeah, because if you say, no, forget it, we have enough to do, they will go again. So we have to keep everybody motivated, but be realistic. How many things can you really move? If you want to reach the moon and Mars and the sun and Jupiter at the same time, it's going to be a problem. Let's maybe concentrate on getting to the moon, and once we're there, then we can go to Mars, So they are all big goals, and then we cannot handle them all at the same time. So try to focus without killing all ideas. Try to make a backlog and visualize and say, guys, that's what we have, and that's the ones we are. 6.
Just to add a little bit to this point.
Sorry.
I mean, we didn't define any work in progress limit, but we understand that our limit were more or less 3 initiatives at the same time. And then we were about 12, 15 persons who meet, who belong to the community, and then what we decide is that we work always in couple of 3 or 4 persons in different initiatives. And then by this, we were having different initiatives at the same time, working more or less 2, 3, 4, up to 4 initiatives at the same time. And it was working very good. So we divide the work, and then we make, besides the normal community of practice meeting, where we went to the backlog, prioritize, and give a very quickly kind of Kanban and stand up, we have another meetings with these sub-teams to work in the initiatives. I think this is interesting, you know, how we do it. Yeah, good. Then, time. Time is a resource that nobody would like to give if they are not passionate about it. Either you pay them or they are passionate about it, and they give time. Yeah, but time is the most precious resource you have. In Mexico, we have a saying, money go and money come. It's okay, but time never come back. So then, if the company do not allow one slack time to the people, they can be passionate about something, but believe me, they will not work more than 120% of the time allocation. What happened in our company is we were also 100% busy, but just 100%, not 120. This is important. I mean, then that means we had still finding the time to invest in this one. Yeah, remember, always, how many managers do we have here? I promise we will not kill you. Yeah, cool.
We love you.
We love you guys. I mean, remember always managers. The people has just 24 hours per day. Never forget it. There is no people who has more, at least as far as I know. So allow this, and furthermore, when you see that the community is bringing something, even more, be conscious, go there, be present. There is a concept in Japanese that it says that when managers go down to
Get back.
So practice that. Go visit the community of practice. See the backlog. See the daydream. See how can you support them. This has happened with us. Our we call it JP, but it's the manager. He was always passionate and he was always supporting us. Yeah. Okay. Company support.
At this point.
Yeah.
If a couple of crazy people join at lunch who try to do great things and move, and there is no support from line management, things will not get very far. So it will be a bunch of dreaming. So I think we mentioned it already, and we have to enforce it. There has to be a buy-in. They'll have to say, okay, we have been invited to a conference to present our activities. Okay, guys, you are allowed to go there. It's okay, you are losing 2 days of your working time, but you are presenting your community, and that's something we can win something. When you come back, give a short presentation of what you've learned. So accept that if you want things to happen in your company, people have to be planned by 80%. So you have to give some space for the people, and there are so many companies doing it. I mean, actually, 3M started in the 40s. That is 70 years ago. 3M started giving their employees 60% of their time for creativity, for whatever they wanted. And some of the greatest, I mean, if you look into this intrinsic motivation issue, due to the fact that I'm training for Management 3.0, I've been reading a lot into that, and you see the amazing things that happen if people have time to do what they really are passionate about. So that's the reason we push, please let the people work in the communities without, sorry, I have to do something else for my manager. You know? Okay, and the last one. The very last one.
Last one, contribution. I mean, I already mentioned, I mean, it's contribution in both ways. I mean, the community is contributing to the company, but the company should also support and contribute to the personal skills of the people. They need to find something there that to reward them. It's not a stick and carrot, not at all, but it's nice when you recognize the people. I mean, we didn't receive any increase of salary because we were driving this community of practices, but sometimes the people mention, hey, this person is driving, or this person is collaborating, or this recognition is important. Contributions should be visible to the whole company. I mean, it was presented in the General Assemblies, not every General Assembly, but some General Assembly, it was sometimes not, where the people were allowed to go in front and present to the whole company what the community of practice is doing right now, and to promote it, and to get people on boarding. This is important. The contribution from the community should be visible to everyone. And please celebrate this contribution. Okay? Celebration is important. Almudena said it, man. 11-11, never forget 11-11. Good. Then, these are all together?
That was the whole package of ideas or our best practices, how we think you want to introduce community of practices in your company that will really help to move it on.
Oh.
And by this, we are getting to the end of our presentation. We'll wait until everybody is finished with the pictures. So it's no copyright, don't worry. Yeah, and you can take it from the beautiful painting wall anyway, but those are our takeaways for you. If you want to reach me, there are 4 different ways to do it, apart from taking my business card, which is laid here. If you want to reach this other beautiful lady, there are also 3 different ways to get her. And at this point, thank you very much.
I speak German, why do you wait?
For questions, some drinks waiting for us.
We don't want to be the experiment between the drink and the...
Everybody's smiling. I don't know if because of the drinks or because of the talk. Yes? Yeah.
What, in your impression, what are the most reasons why communities practice fail? Just not contribution or no driver?
Frustration, lack of time, I think.
Time, lack of driving, lack of recognition, any lack of this,
Many lacks.
This can kill a community.
Depends on the culture of the company. Because I work around through Europe, different cultures, and I work in 3 languages, I get to see how the culture affects the company. And there are a lot of factors which can be the inner culture of the company combined with the culture of the country. But you do find people who say, no, Almudena, it will not work here, because we're not in power, and even if I try, nobody's going to go and say, hey, guy, at least try it, come on. So you do have to find 2 or 3 crazy people who are really passionate about it. And then once you have identified these 2 or 3 crazy people, then really be nice to them, nurture them. Don't say, go back to work, because then those are the ones who can get the otherwise convinced, hey, come on, let's try this here. Let's try to make some more empowerment in that area. Do you think it's going to work? Yes, I think it's going to work. So identify, go to the smoker corner or to another corner and identify the ones which are passionate about someone and say, hey, what do you think about the community practice? Let me give you a thought. Yeah? So start small. Start the ball. Don't send Monday an email. We're going to set up 7 communities of practice.
But maybe something that I would like to say, because we saw one community of practice who was from top to down, and then the manager said, okay, we will do this one, and every department should send 1 guy or 1 lady. And then we were there, and they sent a lago. Does it sound good, lago?
Legal. Yeah, send somebody who said that who has been sent to the practice.
But this one, but why? Please, do not do it with the community of practice. Every member from the community of practice believe in that. If there is someone who was sent, and is there because I was sent by my manager, Goodbye. Do not accept it. These people can kill a community of practice. Really kill.
You had a question?
You also have experience with communities of practice that are not co-located on one side, but on different sides, distributed on different sides of the company. Might this work? Can this work?
Let's put it this way, it surely can work. It is one challenge more on top. Out of the list of challenges we gave, is one more challenge.
Yeah.
So, same with the Scrum teams, very same. Do distributed Scrum teams work? Yes. It's not the most, it's not the best idea, but is just one more problem.
Yeah. We have one community of practice what was working in the whole Ericsson company. It was cautious community of practices. And it was working very well that we have these video cameras, and then it was really like feeling that you are in the same room and all the people was really enthusiastic. So you need a little bit more of effort from the team members to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Any more questions? One more question and you can leave the room. Come on. He's motivated and trying to be present.
You afterwards because it's just experience of mine. We just I set up a community of practice for DevOps because I felt they really demanded it. The sysadmins were angry, the developers were angry. I explained to them the community of practice. They were, hey, great idea, perfect, yeah. Facilitated the first meeting, everything was great, we had backup. Second meeting, I couldn't make it. I thought they're now on their own. Let's give them the free space. Ended up now the most experienced developer, sysadmin of the team, now sent out, I think, 10 meetings where he prepared the courses to train all the staff now, and also give them into the academy tool of our company. So, how much moderation?
It depends whether you want to have a learning community of practice, where sounds like a learning community of practice, more of a teaching. If one guy is planning to teach others, sounds to me like setting up courses, have no more to do with communities.
Yeah.
It's my opinion, for God's sake. Or you want to make operative activities and you want to move something within the company. But sending an agenda for the next 10 meetings beforehand,
It's not so agile.
it's not that agile.
Yeah, not what we planned, yeah.
It's a training plan, which is also absolutely, if it's required for the company, it's excellent. But make a community of practice also. No, so that sounds like a training
Just,
plan.
I think one ego, he's thinking, you have to be skilled enough so that I'm starting to discuss with you. Maybe it's that.
Yeah, but
That's how I'm not really part of this community because I have no clue about operations and development. And should I offer to moderate it?
why not? Why not?
DevOps is one of, actually the other talk, we have 2 talks right now in our program. One is community of practice, second is on DevOps. And that one I'm doing it in October. We can, I guess it's a good idea, the other ones maybe are getting a bit anxious. We can take it with a glass of wine, it is worth.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
So, you made it.
Good,
Go.
guys, thank you very much. One,